We can share
Awesome,
it.
guys. I'll do a quick little intro for you there. So, guys,
Okay.
just while we're waiting for a little bit, I've got Ali here with us. He's with Remarketer, and it's a really good program that the sisters and I use for sure. And I know a few other agents in the brokerage are using. Not sure how much everyone's utilizing the tools and all that stuff, but I get a lot of questions from you guys all the time about our home evaluation tool. If you follow us on social media, you'll see that we post it a lot in our stories, in our links, and then on our newsletters, we send it out quite often as well. You'll see it on our postcards, flyers, everywhere. And it's kind of a way for us to get seller leads, but it's also a way for us to nurture some relationships with past clients as well. But because I get so many questions about it, I thought it would be best to let Ali take over. And he's the guy behind the tech and the tools. So I thought he'd be the best one to really explain it to you guys. So that's why we've got Remarketer here with us today. So I'm gonna let Ali take over. Do you prefer questions before or during or after the presentation?
I'm open to whatever everybody is used to.
Okay.
Sure, stop me whenever there are questions, and we can kind of just have a discussion through it.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys have
Yes,
questions, chuck them in the chat there, and then I'll do my best to either interrupt or if I think it's a question better for later, I'll do that as well.
for
So
sure.
are you ready with it or should I let you go?
Yeah, 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 I'm ready.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So I'm going to put you on the
Great.
spotlight, and I'm really looking forward to this. So hopefully you guys do as well. And I'm going to mute myself and let you take over.
Thank you very
Oh, thanks
much.
for
Oh,
being
it's a
here.
pleasure. It's a pleasure to be in the webinar and virtually meeting everybody. Thank you very much, Katelyn, for having me. And it's always been a pleasure working quite closely with the Fulton sisters. We've had a great few years working with you guys, and we've benefited a lot from the feedback as well. And a lot of what we've built and have made available with Remarketer is built on direct feedback from realtors, and that's why we've been able to come as close as possible to what the expectation and what the requirements would be in the industry. So today, the feature that we want to discuss and go over are the home valuation. I will also touch on a couple of other related services as well, just for you to see how these can really enable you to not only generate better leads, but deliver the service that you would promise your prospects as well as your clients in a better fashion. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you and um, so that I can explain what the system is. So basically on well, let me start from this. So the system, for those of you who aren't familiar with Remarketer and might be the first time for you guys to see it in action, actually, is that we've got the website, which is the main component, the main marketing component of the system, together with a host of services that are available in the backend. So it's an integrated platform that enables you to not only have a presence, but also manage your presence and even further, takes it even further to allow you to manage your business and deliver your services better for your business as well. So there are many CRM tools, there are many business management tools, there are many analytical tools available within the platform as well. Things like market stats and market reports. These are the things that are we've incorporated to build services such as the automated home valuation service that we have. Now, most of the gateways for lead generation that's been used for many, many years, pretty much on various platforms has been the usual free home valuation offer that's been put out there. And usually what it entailed is um, simply a form that the user would enter a few pieces of information, and that is pretty much simply submitted to the agent. And the agent is then left with the task of uh, compiling the work, doing the work, and getting back to the prospect. Now, in terms of lead generation and prospect management, this would be a good offer and has been a good offer and has been something that's been on the mind of every prospect that's curious about real estate and is kind of in there. But it doesn't live up to the expectations of the modern prospect, where information is much more readily available, and they expect more than just simply submitting some information and then waiting for, who knows how long for somebody to get back to me. So when they're in it, they'd like to get results immediately, and that's why we have the instant home valuation uh, created and delivered here. So what this system does is that it creates an automated report on the spot, so that you can change the offer from a free home valuation on my time to an instant home valuation on your time. So it generates the report, which is a good enough report for the user to gain some insight in the value of their property instantly and immediately, so that the service is delivered on the spot. And then it also creates the excuse for you to follow up and build on the initial connection that's made there. So that's the whole point. This is a better hook, if you want to say, for you to be able to generate a lead. And then it provides you a lot more information for you to follow up on the lead. So that's when you utilize this tool for a lead generation purpose. Now, I will also give you a few other examples where you can utilize the same tool, but for different purposes as well, which is another a couple of other good aspects of the service. But initially, for us to be able to just see what the system does and how it works, it's pretty straightforward. What is offered here is to find out instantly how much my property is valued for. So what I can do, for example, is that I can go ahead and put in the address. I'll put in a property address here, just like that. So it basically finds the property address. Now, the first instance of what the system would want to do is to validate this address to see whether the address would fall within the boundaries of the service area. Now, the boundaries of service area is obviously, for example, for an agent who's a TREP member in the area that could be served by the agent. I mean, this address couldn't be somewhere in Sao Paulo, for instance, in Brazil. It needs to be somewhere in Ontario where information and data is available. So once we verify the address, the system identifies the property, and it knows, for example, that the property is now located in Bayview Woods Steeles in Toronto. So it was able to identify the property. Now, once the property has been identified, this is where all the information that we have will now come into play. Now we know where the property is located. Now we can map it to the data that's available here, and we can do some further analysis to the property. Now comes the lead generation part. Now, some of the prospects would basically not go through with this step and not provide their information. Even if they don't provide their information, the address is automatically sent over to you. So you have what we call an unqualified, well, a partial lead, where you only have an address where you know that there's someone residing there who's curious. This could be an opportunity for you to door knock or send an addressed mail to try to get the conversation going again. But most of the times, this is where we are able to also get the information of the contact, and we also collect a little bit further information about the property as well. So, from the owner, would be able to mention whether the property is a detached property or a different type of a property, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Now, these options are these set of information are optional. The user doesn't have to provide the information, but the more information the system is able to gather, the more informed you are going to be about the property in question, as well as the fact that the system will be able to provide a better analysis with more information about the property. Now, we don't want to make it too complicated. I know that we can gather much more information and be even more specific and more precise, but we kind of have to find an equilibrium where would be the sweet spot of being able to collect information while not pissing off the user by asking for too much. So we have to be somewhere that we can provide some an adequate level of information. But we want to get really deeper and be very, very specific about the analysis. That's where the role of the agent comes into play, and that's where you would step in, and that's your offer afterwards. So the user can provide the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, possibly the approximate square footage. If they want to leave it out, they can leave it out. When did they buy it? Let's say we bought it in 2021 for $2 million, for example. So you have to the user can provide some of that information and then request for the report, even though we would kind of tell them what sort of a report they are going to be receiving. There you go. You have an instant update there where the system is automatically able to pull up the property. This is a Google Street View image of the property where, well, it actually tells the user that hopefully we're on the right property right there. And then we have some estimates and information that's been added to the report that can give some insights to the prospect here. Now, at this point, an email has been sent out to the prospect with the same link, which pulls up the same report here. They've already seen it right here, and you have also been informed. The contact has been added to your contact manager right here with all the information there, and some nurturing has been configured as well, which I will show you a little bit later. But before that, let's go ahead and check out what the home valuation report includes here. So we've got the address, we have the information that was provided by the user. Now you as the agent would have to know what's going on here in order to be able to justify or further communicate on the numbers here that are there. So basically, first off, we have a bar here which identifies the low end of the market here, the low end of the detached markets, detached properties in the neighborhood, and the high end of the detached properties in the neighborhood. So we have detached properties at as low as $1.3 million in this neighborhood, and then detached properties as high as $2.3 million in this neighborhood. So that's the extent of the properties that are available at the moment in the market. Now we've got other estimates. So the average would be, so you have one set of information here, the low end, the high end, and the average. So the average detached property in the neighborhood is right around the $1.9 million mark there. So that's the first piece of information that's provided to the user here, to the prospect here. After that, we have several other identifiers here. We have an AI-generated number, which I will explain how AI has come to this conclusion here. This is based on the information that was gathered from the properties that are pulled as comparable properties to this subject property of ours. Then we've got a local MLS and a neighborhood average. So the local MLS is based on the properties that the system was able to find matching these specifications. So as much of the information that has been provided by the user, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, that would be pulled and used for this. And then we have a neighborhood average as well, which is, regardless of these facts. So basically, it'll just look at detached properties in the neighborhood. In this instance, we had the same number here because we've had enough properties to match that did have 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. What that indicates is that the average property in this neighborhood are detached 4 bedrooms with 4 bathrooms. So that's the reason why these two are the same. But sometimes for certain properties, you might not have the same numbers here. We do have a time-adjusted price as well. So this is based on the HPI reports. Home price index, for those of you who might are familiar with, provide a point-to-point comparison for different property types in different neighborhoods in terms of benchmark pricing, price points, basically. For that, it is telling me that the benchmark price for detached properties in this neighborhood right now is $2 million. That's the HPI benchmark price. And we've got a 1-year price depreciation in this case of -1, and then a 13% depreciation based on HPI reports since 3 years ago. 28 appreciation, 28%, and then 72% over the past 5 years and 10 years, which brings us to this time-adjusted price here. So the time-adjusted price will take the purchase price that the prospect had mentioned in the previous screen and adjusted based on the numbers provided by HPI, and provides you an adjusted price here as well. So if the property was purchased in 2021 at $2 million, based on HPI, the time-adjusted price would be 1.75 almost. The valuation of the property. That's given that the property is the same. No upgrades have been made to the property, and it's pretty much sitting at the same status that it used to at the time of purchase. And of course, the fact that the $2 million that was mentioned in the previous screen is an actual price. So all of that into consideration, we have this number here as well. Now, right below that, we have some comparative properties as well. So basically, the system will pull some other detached 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom properties. So you can see these are all 4 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 and 4. So these are all 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom properties, similar to what had been mentioned in the lead generation form there. And it's giving you an idea of what's going on. We have properties at 1.799. We have properties at 2.25. We have properties at 2.29, 1.99, 1.36. That one is the only property that's recently sold with the same stats here. Now, what the AI does is that it takes all of these properties together with all of this information. So all of these information. So it's taken into account the time-adjusted price, the HPI benchmark. It's taken into account the properties that are available for sale. It's taken into account the properties that have sold in the market. So it's taken all that into consideration and then compares it with with the subject property and comes up with an AI generated estimate here. Now, that will take into account the latest information that we have uh, for this property. Obviously, if this property has had any upgrades to it, it would also be included in the estimate. Nevertheless, this is just certain price points based on different points of views that have been provided to the user in order for them to kind of have an overview of what the market looks like as an estimate, as a benchmark or points of comparison to their property. They can take it further from here, start viewing these properties and kind of compare them with their own property as well to see where they stand. So, for instance, for this property, they are able to see the interior pictures and kind of have further information which is available on your website. So for example, here they can see the transaction history of the property and kind of start comparing. So this one was purchased back in 2011 at $1.2 million, for example. And this is the rest of the history here available with the map and where it would be located compared to my property, for example. So the prospect can really take it further and start analyzing the information further. So this one was listed for 1.29 and sold for 1.36. This seems to be a more comparable property to the subject property that we were looking at. The other one was much better renovated internally. So those are the things that the user can see. And obviously, you have the same available in the back end as well. So if I go to my contact manager, if I can find the same user, hopefully, I guess it's this one. It's not this one. This is a test account, therefore my contact information is all over the place, so I hope I can find it. Anyhow, better new listing alert. Let me see that. That's a different property address. Okay, it's this one. All right, so basically, you can see that the contact has been created. Now, this contact had been already in my CRM. I just used my own contact information to get in there. But you can see that the contact has been would be added to my contact manager, which is the database that I hold for my CRM. And some nurturing content is activated for the contact as well. Now you can see that the contact has been added here as a prospect. So this would be a lead. Now it's client because it was already added previously to my contact list here, but it would be categorized as a client as a lead, and the nurturing tools would be automatically enabled for it. So the main thing that I want you guys to see here is the seller new listing alert. You can see that this would be enabled and the information provided would be added to the profile of the contact here. We've got the address, we've got the information that was declared, and the rest of the information is there so that the system can now follow up with further communication as well. Things like the real estate market snapshot of your neighborhood. So every 2 weeks, the system will automatically trigger this email, which had been triggered for this contact before, with um, the latest of the market. So these are the recent properties similar to yours, to the one that they submitted at the time of converting, that are for sale or have sold in your neighborhood. So we can see what properties have come to the market recently within the 2 weeks that the email has been generated. Again, the stats would be provided, and the map with the information would be available to them. So these are the kind of nurturing content that will automatically continue to trigger, so that we can nurture the lead even further um, while the system measures the engagement of this user with the system, so that you could find out whether this person is a hot lead, is a not so hot lead, etc. So all of that is measured here. You can see the level of engagement, whether it's an active contact, a passive contact, very highly engaged contact. So all of that information would be made available here. You have things like the browsing history available to you, and you can kind of see what properties are being browsed by this user, and you're able to find out more and more about this user. Once you have that information, you have the home valuation that's sent out to them. You have the numbers that's been communicated with them. All of that information is available to you. Now it's up to you to find out the right time to contact that person, and because the system has been able to trigger so many pieces of information on your behalf automatically to the user, it's not going to be an out of a blue cold call where most of the contacts don't even remember you if you wait a couple of days before you contact them. Hopefully, they remember you because branded materials such as the email that I showed you has been sent to that user with your name and picture and everything. So you're going to have a much better chance at being able to have a proper communication there. Um, should we see if we have any questions at this
Sure.
point?
I know I've got a few things to add to it, but if anyone's
Sure.
got questions, I'll just point it out to the group just in case they didn't catch that. But
Mhm.
one of the things that we do like about the program is the instant evaluation. I don't know if anyone appreciates it unless they're paying for online leads right now. There's some programs out there that a lot of agents pay for seller leads for online, and what will happen is there's a landing page for for them to go to on like a Facebook or Instagram ad that says, "What's my house worth?" So typically what you guys will see is the seller lead will put their address in, and then you're going to get an email with the address and the lead. But what they're going to receive is, "Thank you for your information. Someone will be in contact with you." So this takes that step away from you guys where now you're going to get an email. You might be in the middle of like your kid's birthday party or like a soccer game or something, and then you got this hot lead, and you now got to go to your computer, do a quick CMA, send a home evaluation. So that like takes off so many hours of like and stress from what like this program, because the client's going to receive an evaluation right away, and you'll be continuing with the soccer game, or you'll be with your kids doing what you got to do, and this lead gets exactly what they want, and in return you guys are going to get what you want, which is contact information. So that's kind of why we like this tool. I haven't seen too many lead programs. Even I run like another leads program that's seller leads. Same thing. They just get a home evaluation, or like someone will be in touch with you email. They don't get an evaluation of their home. So now it's just wasting time. So leads don't really have a lot of time to convert. So that's why we like this tool for you guys. I think that's probably why you guys created it too, Ali, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point, to be able to offer something on the spot to the
Yeah,
lead. As I mentioned, that's the expectation these days. People who are online searching and researching for real estate have a lot more, much better access to data and information than well, a few years before. So that's pretty much the expectation to see. I mean, if you want to do a home valuation, you provide it on the spot. As you said, most of the time you're not able to follow up with leads immediately unless you have absolutely nothing to do. And usually these leads are coming in through the worst times ever, either very early in the morning, right at lunchtime when you're usually with a client, or very late in the evening, which is not even if you're up, it's not appropriate for you to call somebody back at that time of the night. And the problem is that the memory of a lead is like a goldfish. They're not going to remember you in the morning, and they're not going to even remember clicking on a link on Facebook in the morning. So the more interaction that you can have instantaneously with the lead, it's going to give you a better chance to be able to have a proper follow-up at a proper time a little bit later.
exactly. And the other good thing that you can't really see if you guys don't have the program is you'll notice that on the first page, like he has on the screen right now, the person will put their address in. And then they'll click verify, and you, as the agent, will receive an email that says like partial lead, and it will just have the address on it. So that client could have gone to the next page, saw all the information they have to fill out, like first name, last name, email address, all that stuff. And they may just decide to bail out, but at least you're going to receive a partial lead that gives the address so you can be a little creep and go into Geo Warehouse, do a reverse search, look up the address. It could be a past client of yours or something. So at least you can like look up maybe who it is if it's someone that maybe you know. Like for us, we send it out to our past clients every quarter, just so that they can keep up to date with their investment properties and all that. So every quarter we send an email and we'll notice that they'll put the address in and then they kind of bail out. So I'll look in, be like, oh, that's one of my past clients, and then I'll manually go in and I'll go to our website, put the address in and fill out the information and just send them the evaluation that way as well. So that partial lead is even kind of cool. You could send them a seller's guide, whatever, and just mail it to them, even if you don't get their address. So there's ways that you guys can handle that too.
I got a couple of other ideas that work well in practice as well. So a lot of you guys send out postcards
Mhm.
in the neighborhoods, and that's a good practice. It's a little bit different from what it used to be. There used to be a time when you would send out a postcard and there was no other option for people to find out any information about anything that other than calling you. But those
Exactly.
days are gone. So
Yeah,
nobody's going to call you, but it doesn't mean that postcard marketing is not working anymore. It's still working. It's branding. It's showing that you're present in the neighborhood, and it's part of your farming activities. However, one of the cool things that you could do on that postcard is that rather than just making it a passive marketing campaign, you can turn it into an active marketing campaign by having a little QR code on the
Mhm.
back of the postcard that leads to this page on your website that says, curious about the value of your property, do an instant home valuation, scan this QR code and do it. And you'll be surprised how many people actually do it. And
Yep,
all of a sudden, your postcards will start generating leads again for you, which is another way that you could use this tool.
exactly.
Um,
And I tell agents that one too. The other way is like open houses. Us sisters even got like a little baby, like a mini banner posted. So at the open house, you could have it on like a little banner with the QR code going to that website. Um, Lots like old school traditional ways of marketing, but now, yeah, instead of saying, "Hey, call me for a home evaluation," now you're just saying, "Here, go to this link and you'll get a home evaluation." So it's a more effective way of paying for postcards and all of that, and then also collecting leads, and they don't have to call you or anything like that. They can passively do it. So I like that too.
Exactly. So you're tying your traditional marketing to technology this way. It's a better gimmick. It makes you look better with because you're equipped with better tools. You're farming the area, and you're not the only postcard that lands in their mailbox. There are other agents as well, but who comes on top is the one who's able to provide more than just my picture and a picture of a recently listed property or anything on the back there. Another instance that this would be interesting is that let's say you're doing a door knocking, or you're simply talking to someone, and you want to quickly be able to offer them a quick market updates. And this would be a good way to do it as well. You could just simply pull this up and put in the address, and nicely we can ask them for the information so that this can be emailed to you right away, and we can chat about it together. And you have a tool that can generate something instantly and send it out to the user. Again, an excuse for you to be able to get that contact information from the person that you're talking to in order to be able to do that. It's fairly simple. You just put it up on your website and do it. You can even have that QR code available and offer it to the person that you're talking to be able to create that initial bond that's required for you to be able to build on.
Exactly. There's so much. And then even if you guys, I know I've got some social media guys on here. We actually post the link in our Instagram stories. So usually like once every week or a couple of weeks, we'll do a random post, or every month when we do we'll post like what the stats are. We'll say, hey, if you're curious to know what your house is worth, we'll do a sticker on Instagram stories that has a link to this website. So if you guys are more of my digital marketers versus door knockers and all that, there's so many ways that you guys can use this QR code. And then again, do follow-ups because now you're collecting email addresses, you're doing drip campaigns. Now you can send mass emails to the people that have already given you their contact information every quarter. And then you're even repurposing that URL in your email marketing too. So there's just so many ways to use it. I know this is how we collect so many leads and capture like even just capturing interest within your friends and family and stuff like that. Like sometimes they're just doing it for fun, but they're doing it for fun for a reason. Maybe they're thinking about doing something at some point. So it's just giving you little flags to like kind of put some notes into who you should be staying in touch with as well. So I love that. Another thing I do get asked Ali a lot, and agents, this is
Mhm.
why they freak out about this tool. So anytime I'm
Mhm.
speaking to brokerages or anything, people say, but how accurate is it? Um,
Right.
I like that this tool, you guys do like a big range. So you have like you have a low range and a high range.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of agents get stuck in, well, someone's gonna be mad if it's not an accurate evaluation. So I want you guys to kind of get over that fear too. Like maybe it's not gonna be accurate, maybe it's gonna be off by a couple 100,000, but at least it's giving them some sort of information. You're collecting contact information, and now it gives you some sort of opportunity to say, hey, this is what like it's calculated as, but why don't I come to your house and like actually check out your property and I'll give you a more accurate assessment of it. So if anything, it's just inviting you guys to have that conversation to then go give them an accurate evaluation by going to their house. So we're not trying to be perfect and giving them this perfect home evaluation, but it's definitely just a tool for you guys to use. I even recommend, I use it for myself when we're working with buyers and we're trying to put an offer on a property, and I just want to like have a bunch of different ways to figure out an evaluation. Or if you're about to list a property and you're going to like a listing presentation, you can go in there, type up the info, bring this like computer generated evaluation just to see if it matches even with where your brain's going. So you can use it in so many different ways, and that's what I like as well. So it's like your own research too.
That's true. Yes, exactly. So this is mainly intended for a lead generation icebreaker kind of tool, so that it obviously for us to be able to be more accurate. And I'll show you another tool that is going to be more accurate. We need more information, and that will. If we insist on gathering all that information, it is going to beat the purpose. You can bet for that 100% the lead is going to bail out midway. Nobody's going to fill out a huge form of information about the property. Have you made any updates to it? What about the backyard? Did you install a pool or not? Well, all of that information is just too much for someone to do a quick. It's not an assessment. And at the end of the day, we need to realize who we're talking to. These are, someone who's scrolling through cats and dogs videos and then comes across this link and clicks on it. It's not someone who's in contract with me, and it's not necessarily someone who's actually in the market right now to sell or buy a property. So we need to be as casual as possible with it. But as Katelyn mentioned, this is a tool for you it's the hook. It's basically something that you can offer to be able to get the connection kind of started right there. But the more accurate tool that would be much better for you to use when you want to do a listing presentation, for instance, when you want to be more specific and more accurate about a property's valuation, is this one, the Instant CMA. Now, we do have the Instant CMA. This is, again, a very unique tool to Remarketer. You do have all these CMA builders. So there are a lot of CMA builder tools out there that you have access to. Mainly what they're designed to do is for, to make a convenient way for you to create a CMA report.
Mhm.
It looks good and it's fancy and stuff, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You have to go find the properties, look at them, you mark the area, look at the properties that pop up and select which ones are comparable, which ones are not, and it kind of builds a report for you. That's fine. It's a different tool, but this one is what we call an instant CMA. Again, it's designed to give you a CMA on the spot. And it gives you another important tool that could come in handy when you require further information instantaneously on the spot. So, for example, when you're talking to someone in a listing presentation and you quickly want to be able to provide more information about the neighborhood. Even if you're taking your client out to showings, this would be a good tool to use. I'll give you an example like that. Either you can put in an MLS number or you can put in a street address. I can go ahead and pull up the information of the property, and the system will automatically do a valuation for me. Now, let's take this property, for example. I'll just take the MLS number and I'll type in the MLS number here and generate. Now, let's imagine that I'm taking my client to a showing here, right? Now, this could be a property that's not on the market and I want to do a listing presentation. I would go by the address, but I'll give you this new scenario where you are using a CMA for a showing. This is something that nobody else does. And what it does is that it enables you to have a much more informed viewing of the property, not just looking at the doors and the windows and the kitchen and stuff, but also have a lot more information about the property. So look at what we've got here. This is a newly listed property for $1.8 million. But immediately I know that it's been on the market for a while, right? So I can see that it was listed already back in January of 2025 twice and terminated. It was listed for 1.6, immediately terminated, listed again for 1.9, been on the market for 82 days, and then terminated, and then listed again a few months later for 1.88, right? So you can kind of immediately see what the expectation is, what the journey has been for the seller, for the owner here. What are the other information? It's been leased. It's been sold in 2016 for about $200,000 over asking price. So you have all that information there, and you can kind of see where the property is coming from. You have benchmarks, so you have detached properties within 1 kilometer of this property. 5 properties recently sold in the last 90 days, and this is the average price of these properties sale there, 97% of asking price. That's there. You've got the home index, so you can see that the property has been depreciating for the past 3 years, obviously because of the situation of the market. This might change at any moment, but it is what it is. And we have comparable properties immediately pulled up for me to be able to compare. So right there on the doorstep, before getting out of the car and going inside to view this property, I can see similar sold properties. So I can see, for instance, this one's listed for 1.8, but a similar property. Now, how similar it is, we can click on this and go and view and, kind of have an idea of how similar that property is. But this one sold in April for 1.3 million almost. Sorry, 1.2 million. This one again sold for 1.2, this one 1.5, this one 1.4 almost. So if these are really comparable or at least partially similar to this property, it can kind of give me an idea of how this property is, priced at the upper end of the immediate market at least. I can see currently competing properties. So I can see that the properties that are competing with this are a $1.5 million property, a $1.4 million property, even a $1.3 million property. So these are the properties that are competing with this one. There's only one that's a little bit more expensive, priced at a little bit higher at 1.848. And we can kind of compare and see the rest of the specifications and have a better valuation of the property. We can even see the most recent properties on the same street. So right there and then when we're in the neighborhood, we can see that this neighbor sold 2 years ago for this much, that neighbor sold last year for this much. These are usually what the homeowners are looking at, and that's where the expectations are. And we can kind of build our strategy and our negotiation strategy as well when we're walking through this property. So firstly, we can see that whether a property is priced well, is it priced, is there room for negotiations, for instance, what could have been the expectations of the sellers there? Are they in a bad situation? Are they not? Do they have a lot of competition? So these are all the different things that you can talk about, not just whether I like the property or not. Sometimes you can even find really good opportunities there. For instance, you could see that the property is not in a good shape, but it's priced really well, and you can look at it while you're in the property with the perspective of upgrading the property, for example, right? So if I spend a 50K here, I can make this, a bargain, for instance. So these are the kind of things that are available here. Now, with this tool, you also have, again, the time-adjusted price estimate here, and you can obviously kind of configure it to find other more specifically similar properties to this property of yours. You do have the time-adjusted estimate based on the last uh, uh, purchase price. So if this would have been a fair price at that time, the adjusted would be a 1.93. So this is kind of in line with the expectation of the seller here. However, we can also trigger the AI estimate here as well. What this does is that it goes and takes, again, this information, all of the information from these properties, including the comments sections, and it looks through any specific mentions of upgrades or things that could make a difference in the price, and comes up with an estimate. It takes a little time for it to process because it's processing all of that information, and it provides you with a home estimate as well. Um,
I like
I
that
hope.
one. I've never seen that one. These so
Yeah.
many tools. I saw it the other day, but I saw the hot thing beside it, so we'll have to play around with that tool too.
Yeah, you need to play around with this. This is pretty interesting, especially when it's available. Imagine if you're doing, 8 showings in a day. You could do 8 CMAs right there on the spot, and you have that available. This is something that is a good one for your past clients as well. You can create CMAs and you could generate reports here. You can generate a full PDF report and email this to people, for example. So that's uh, cool as well. What
Very
it
good.
is?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
there
those
it is.
reports a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah. So it's basically saying an average recently sold is approximately 1.2, and an active is approximately 1.57. Comparisons adjusted by the market averages and property features. So it's looking at the property features and everything, and it's not giving a good indication here. There's 1.4 million. So it is really, really tough to sell this property. So all of that can give you the conclusion that you can have a much more aggressive offer for this property if you want to. You might even, go for a lower I don't know, maybe 5, 6 offer for the property, and that could be supported by all of these, which are not apparently much worse off based on what the valuation of the AI was with the property that we're looking at. So you can see that all of these are way lower in the market, and that puts this property in a tough position. Hence, the inability to sell the property after being on the market for so long. So again, it's up to us to walk in and really make this the decisions. But this again, this tool provides you with a host of uh, points and information for you to be able to make a much more informed decision and provide a lot more information to your client while we're looking at properties. So again, for a door knocking, you need a quick assessment. You do that. You're just talking to somebody, and you're in a friend's property, and they quickly ask you for something. You can pull out your cell phone and do this. So we even have it available on the Remarketer app. So the mobile app for the Remarketer has the instant CMA right there as well. You could just quickly type in the address and pull up the information. And there's a lot to talk about when you have that information in front of you.
And is this for all of Ontario as well? Or is there like restrictions on the areas in Ontario?
No, this is all of the areas that we serve. The only difference is that because the CMA is cool because we're looking at recent transactions. So we don't really care about the extent of historical information that we have, because that's different from area to area. So if you're in the GTA, we have like 15 years of historical data available. Like this one, for example, you have all the way back to 2004, for instance, all of that. But for a home valuation, you really don't need all of that. It just gives you, what's going on. But in areas like, for instance, uh, Peterborough, we have only up to 4 years available. So that's, the way that the data is available by different boards is the extent of the data is different. But that doesn't really make any difference here. So yes, you do have this for pretty much all of Ontario and the other areas that the remarketer is available as well.
Very cool. I haven't gotten any big questions pop in. So what would our next steps be if someone wants to get this program? They just go to
Mhm.
remarketer.ca, correct?
Yes, go to remarketer.ca right here, remarketer.ca, and you can go ahead and click on register now. Now, remember to use Katelyn's coupon.
Oh
You
yeah.
get a 10% discount
Cool.
on checkout. So if you could provide your audience with your coupon, that would give you a 10% discount. Now, for today's session, what I'm going to do is that if anybody registers, I'm going to add another 10% discount on top of that as well.
Okay.
So whatever uh, tier of subscription you choose, you'll get 20% lifetime discount on it together with Katelyn's coupon there.
And I think the one that has like the CMA and all that, is that the Lead Master one, or which package is that one?
So basically, the instant CMA is available with the
Okay.
Business Master package as well,
Okay.
but the instant home valuation and the nurturing things that we saw, that's available with the Lead Master package
Yeah.
subscription.
I think that's the one
Yes.
that we use personally. So obviously, guys, it's obviously going to be an investment. But honestly, it's been a really good tool for us in generating like new business and great CRM too. If you guys suck at the CRMs and keep in touch with people, it's a lot easier to use, honestly, than even the Century 21 platform that you guys get for free. So if you guys are thinking about different systems and tech and tools to add to your tool belt, I recommend it. It's no pressure or anything like that. I just use it personally and I pay for it personally as well. So, for anyone that's looking, like my experienced guys that are looking to kind of up their game, this might be something that you guys might want to consider as well. Cool.
Yes, that's amazing. So this is exactly one of the different thing about this tool is that it was built right here in the GTA. We used to be focused only in the GTA for many years, just trying to perfect the tools based on the information and the content that's available here. So it's very different from uh, a tool that was developed in the States, for example. The way data feeds work there is very different from what we have here. Regulations are very different. Therefore, the extent of information that you'd have available on your website, for instance, automatically the system updates market trends and market stats on your website. You have local news, for instance, that's automatically updated on your website. So it's not just uh, uh, a website that requires your attention all the time to be up to date. If anyone comes to your website, they will immediately see that it's a well-maintained website, and it's got the latest news and the latest stats and the latest listings and to the full extent of listings and the transaction histories and sold properties and whatever is available to the real estate agents in our area is incorporated onto the website together with all the backend tools. So you can see that you've got not only a CRM, but unlimited email marketing is built in there. We've made it as easy as possible. You've got things like door knocking, which is integrated into the system. You've got the CMA that I just showed you. You can go as far as market stats and market reports. All sorts of them are built into the system that you could really utilize this tool to deliver a better service to your clients. So imagine sitting with someone, an investor, and you want to talk about the let's say 5-year appreciation for townhouses in different areas of the GTA. You can simply pull that out and see, for instance, how Oshawa has been a hot spot for example, for this type of investment over the past 5 years, for example. So there are many different tools and use cases that you can have with this. It pretty much covers everything. Your open house management, if you go to your listing manager, you can have online registration for your properties. You've got open house integrated into this. So again, once these things are integrated into your CRM, everything happens seamlessly. People register here. You don't have to go back home and take that piece of paper and try to decipher the handwritings and add them into a spreadsheet and then import that into a CRM and then prepare a thank you email and send it out, which never happens. These are the problems. Lead generation is one thing on Facebook, but in your open houses, this is what I always tell our clients and customers, that I myself, as a client, have been to probably, I don't know, hundreds of open houses. And because I'm in the industry, I always register. I want to see what happens. I want to get
Do
ideas,
they
right?
follow up?
I never put in a fake email or fake name, and I try to make sure that it's properly written, so there's not going to be a problem. And you'd be surprised. This is my experience. Not once have I been contacted after an open house. Never.
Not
And it
shocked.
never happened. Yes, I am contacted 6 months later with from a random real estate agent who I probably an open house to, that, now's the time to clear out your gutters and why it's better to paint your door red if you want to sell your property. It's out of touch, it's out of time, it's not related at all. But getting this connected, people you meet at your open house are the most important leads that you would ever generate. So we would need to nurture them immediately. And this happens automatically. The thank you email is automatically sent out right there while they're inside the property. So how great that is.
Yeah.
It's connected to your CRM. The nurturing can trigger afterwards the neighborhood updates, the market stats. All of those are tools that are available to you, and they seamlessly happen when you're generating leads in your open houses. And this is what makes the difference. If I'm going to 3 different open houses in my neighborhood, the one agent that is contacting me and providing more information about the property and letting me know when the property is sold and showing me what other properties are selling and being listed for and sending me market stats, etc. That's the one agent that I will contact 6 months from now if I want to sell my property as well. Right. So these are the things that really matter, and everything is integrated into the system to make it seamless and worthwhile.
Yep, I love it. I didn't even know you guys had that open house when I was just on the app with the QR code. I was like, oh, that's very handy. There's so much more to
Yeah.
it. Every time I
Yeah,
like look into
exactly.
it, I love it. And then someone asked if the emails can be edited, right? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, obviously.
So
Yes,
the
they can be
newsletters are
added.
pretty like basic, similar, like they're easy to use. So it's not too hard to edit those ones.
No, you can personalize pretty much anything. The emails, the email templates, the website, it's all accessible.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it, Allie. I love this tool. And I know when we talked the last time, I was like, I gotta get you in because I like it a lot. So I even learned a few things today too. So I'll probably bring this back to my sisters even and we'll be like, all right, we've got some new things to add to our marketing and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about it. If
That's
you guys
amazing.
do have extra questions about it, you can reach out to Allie. I'll send a follow-up email with the recording of all of this for you guys. And of course, you
Perfect.
can message me. I'll even send you guys our website if you guys wanted to like creep it out or go onto the home evaluation tool. I actually had to stop using the CRM because so many agents use my instant online home evaluation that it's getting mixed up with my own clients. So if you guys
Right.
want to go to the fultonsisters.com, you guys can test out the home evaluation tool yourselves on your own properties if you guys want. Um,
Yes, and you can always have people want to try things out, come to our demo website as well, demo.remarketer.ca if you don't want things to be mixed up on your
Fair.
system. But yeah,
Yeah, I may
that's
have to
wide
clean it up a
available.
little bit.
Yeah.
I just have so many agents like go to it on our Instagram and all that, and I can tell it's our own
Right.
realtors, so it's just so funny.
Obviously, yes.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
If you
you
guys
so
want
much
Allie
for
to come
having me.
back, we can go dive deeper into any of the other tools with you guys. But he even throws, you do a webinar every Tuesday, right?
Yes, I have a webinar every Tuesday,
Yeah.
and yes, it's open. If you would like to share it with anybody else, or if you would like us to share it with anybody else, you're more than welcome to attend those. But I'll definitely be more than happy to be part of your sessions as well for other tools and other topics of the system.
Awesome. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we'll have this recorded and all that. And I'm sure I'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a
Awesome.
pleasure.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time and we'll chat soon.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.